Hey, this is Colonel Lee with Life with Colonel Lee. We have a winter weather advisory this evening. We're going to test out a tent tonight. So we have 20-mile-an-hour winds. We are supposed to have freezing rain mixed with some snow. So we'll see how that goes. So I set the tent up earlier, the back of the property. I had some trouble because the winds were already picking up. I had 5 stakes in the ground, and I went to grab the guy lines, and the tent, I turned around, the tent was gone. So luckily it caught on the fence. I was able to retrieve it, no damage. So the tent now is all anchored in. You can barely tell it's windy by looking at the tent. It's a tunnel style tent, so it sheds the wind pretty well. Its name brand is one I'm not really familiar with. The last time I heard this name, it was a shoe. So it's Salewa. I don't know how you pronounce it. So Salewa. So it's set up. We have a new air pad we're going to be testing, and a 0-degree sleeping bag we're going to be testing. And we'll go out there about 10:30 or 11 tonight, and we'll check it out, go over some of the features with the tent, and we'll look at some of the gear that I'm using. So temperatures will be down, I think 20s. With the wind chill, it's going to feel like 9-10 degrees. So it'll be a good little test. Yeah, it is in the backyard. Yeah, I could come in the middle of the night and crawl in my own bed if I wanted to, but sometimes you're not always able to, go to some remote location to test gear. So we go out back and we test gear from time to time. So that's what we're going to do tonight. However you pronounce it. So just one guy line on this side. Guy lines on this side to help support the wind. It is blowing pretty good right now. So I want to show you a look at it in the daylight. All that much. So it's a 4-pole construction. Black aluminum poles. It has a clip system and sleeve system. This could very well easily be a 4-season tent. But all the mesh panels inside, which is only 4, 2 on the door, 2 in the ceiling or the roof, if those were able to zip close with the solid panel, then this very well could be a 4-season tent. But we're going to test it out. Ooh, it's getting cold. We'll come back out later tonight. We'll pick it up. So up to 30-mile-an-hour winds. It's supposed to feel like 9-10 degrees. Possible snow, sleet. It's going to be a fun night. Woohoo! Still very windy. About 11 o'clock we're headed up to the tent. A little bit of snow Whew. All right. Light turned on here. Whew. Oh, it's really blowing out here. Nice glow. It does have 2 roof vents on the top. Definitely not be using those. Riley, you better go back inside, dog. You're not coming in here. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're inside the tent. Ooh, it's cold out there and windy. So, as a ground sheet, I have the same survival blanket. Orange on one side, reflective on the other. And I also have it on the inside. Every little bit helps. So I have my Sea to Summit backpacking pillow. Very comfy. And then we have our air pad. Is Climate. So this has a R value of 5. That's the insulation. So it's a good 4-season tent, good for cold weather. This is the extra large. It's about 6.5 feet long, 30 inches wide, nice and comfy. And for our sleeping bag, we have the Alps Mountaineering Echo Lake 0 degree mummy style bag. So we should be nice and warm. So right now I'm just a regular puffer jacket and these kind of jogging pants style. I do have some wool socks on. Oh, more than likely we will probably have to strip out of some of these clothes later on. So we will probably get pretty warm in this sleeping bag. So we have, this is my little weather thing here. So it was been in the house, so it takes a few minutes to acclimate. It does the wind pretty good. It's saying 53 inside the tent, so I'm sure it will lower down here. We just brought it out, so it is 27 degrees outside and still very windy. You can see the tent kind of flutter a little bit. It's a pretty sturdy tent. So it's rated as a 3-season. So this tent retails just a little over $500. I did not pay that much for this tent. It wasn't used, it was new. The seller at the time, Steep and Cheap, they made a mistake. They had several of these brand of tents, different models, and
They made a mistake on the price that they discounted this one at. So basically I called them, I took a snapshot of the price, and they had to honor it. So I got this for $153. Not bad. Okay. So if these mesh panels, if they had a solid panel that you could zip up and close that up, along with the two roof panels and the back door. Keep hitting the buttons when I do this. So the back door, the smaller vestibule back there. Oh. So this tent here, you could actually set the rain fly up with the poles and not have the inner tent, the tent body. You can still have it packed away and set up the rain fly as a shelter, and then you could come in afterwards and you could attach the tent body to the rain fly. There's a buckle system. So it makes it nice if it's already raining or there's bad weather. You can keep the tent body dry and then set up your rain fly, and then you could come in, set the tent body up, and it would be dry, wouldn't get wet. So you could go out this door, and there's little attachment points, buckles, and about every foot or so there's a whole set of buckles that goes around. So if you needed more vestibule space, you could unbuckle that, pull the living space in. Maybe if you needed to change clothes in the vestibule and there's bad weather out there, or if you needed to cook on your backpacking stove, need a little bit more room in the vestibule, you could unhook that and pull the tent body back in a little bit. That's kind of a versatile tent. I probably will not use this tent in the summertime, mainly for this reason right here. So that is the rain fly right there. So they have this so you can access the vent panels from inside as well as the outside. But there's really nothing closing that off to keep the creepy crawlies from coming in. And a lot of summer camping, spiders love to get up under there, under this rain fly. So if I use this in the summer, I'm gonna have to do some kind of Velcro strip along here and here. But I'll probably just use it for cold winter camping. I do have a 4-season tent. I slept in it out here overnight, did a test night. We had some freezing rain. It handled very well. So we'll be, I do have some, have to get a video together on that. So, posting that soon. See what our temperature is. Turned off. It was down to 44.2. 44. So when I test the 4-season tent, I was 2 or 3 weeks ago. The temperature inside the tent was reading 20 degrees warmer than the outside temperature. And the temperature inside my sleeping bag was over 70 degrees. So very warm, and the outside temperature was like 20 degrees, about like tonight. You know, it felt like it was in the teens or single digits. So I'm fairly comfortable in here right now. I'm not even in my sleeping bag. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to shed some of these clothes later. But a little bit of snow flurries earlier. A lot of places in the Metroplex are having freezing rain, sleet, snow, just snow mix. So roads are pretty icy. A lot of schools are shutting down, delaying. So far I'm quite comfortable out here. I have downloaded a movie on my phone. I'm gonna watch that and then call it a night. If we get any rain, sleet, or snow hitting the tent, we'll come back and we'll have to listen to that. Maybe get a picture out of the door there of the snow. 42. This tent may be about 20 degrees warmer than outside as well. You'd be surprised how warm you could actually be if in winter camping. You just have to have the right gear. So one of these days we're going to do a video of gear shopping, the kind of gear you need to do winter camping. It does take a certain kind of gear so you don't freeze to death, get hypothermia or anything like that. So there's a lot of gear that's being sold out there, mainly in stores like Walmart. I'm not going to get into all that right now, but if you was to try to do this and some of that gear they sell, you definitely would freeze. You would not make it through the night, not in this cold. All right, anything interesting comes up, we'll bring you back. But for now, we're going to sign out. Stay warm. We're in the sleeping bag now. Very warm. Very, very warm. Very comfortable. The wind's still pretty strong. It's probably around 10 to 15. Not terribly bad. Let's see if you can see the sleeping bag there. Where am I at? There I am. Well, I survived the night. Sun's still not up yet this morning. It is about 6:20 a.m. It's sleeted a few times through the night. The wind's pretty steady. Still fairly windy now. The tent is very cold, but it was almost 80 degrees in my sleeping bag. It's time to get up and use the restroom. If I were camping somewhere in a remote location, I would just have to get out and use the bathroom outside, which would have been very cold. But this morning we're just gonna put our jacket on, shoes on, and go into the house. So I don't know what the ground looks like, if there was any sleet on the ground or whatever. We'll take a look when we get out. Come back out when it's light and take a look at the tent, see how it fared. So I think it's 14 to 20 degrees outside right now. Probably feels like 9, 8. Alrighty.